Hi there, welcome. My name's Elizabeth Mason, and today we're going to talk about what lenses every photographer needs to shoot a wedding, especially if you're just starting out. With all the lenses out there and all the choices, how do you know what you're going to buy? If you're gearing up to shoot your first wedding, how do you know what you're going to need? I have several lenses that I never use and some that I can't live without, so let me break it down for you. These are the must-haves. First up is the 100 millimeter 2.8. You will need a 100 millimeter to shoot all of the details. This will very likely be the first lens you use on the wedding day. When I first arrive at the prep site, whether it's a hotel room or a house, I pop on the 100 millimeter and then I'm ready to shoot all of the details. The rings, the jewelry, the invitations, the shoes, the hair accessories, anything that needs to be documented. This is the perfect lens to get all of those tiny details and to capture them beautifully with a beautiful bokeh background. Number two is the 2470 2.8. This lens by far is the most versatile lens in my bag. If I was only allowed one lens, I would definitely take this one. It is great as a portrait lens, works good in a hotel room, and it can be used also for the ceremony, which I do use for the ceremony. Number three is the 7200 2.8. It's a lens I put off buying for a long time because of the expense of it. But even though I didn't own it, I rented it for every single wedding. In my second year of business, I purchased it, and this lens is worth, let me tell you, every penny. I use this lens during the ceremony, and it allows me to zoom in nice and tight for close-ups, especially during the ring exchange, and to get reactions of parents and the guests without being noticed and without getting in the way. So those are my must-have lenses. The next lenses are ones that I have, and I use usually every wedding, but they're not they're not ones that I have to have in my bag. Number one is the 50 millimeter 1.2. This lens is by far the most versatile prime lens that you could ever have. It works great as a portrait lens. It works good in a hotel room, unless it's a very small hotel room, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It can be used for the ceremony, especially if you shoot in a journalistic style. It's just an all-around great lens. They don't call it the Nifty 50 for nothing. It's just a great lens. The second lens is an 85 millimeter 1.8. This lens is beautiful portrait lens when doing bridal portraits, groom portraits, bride and groom portraits. I would never ever use this lens for a wedding party or family pictures because the field just is not wide enough for that. But it's great for just single portraits. The third lens that I have in my bag in case I want it is the 35 millimeter. The 35 millimeter gives you a pretty wide angle and is especially good in hotel rooms. And if the hotel rooms are tight, there's not a lot of room to move around, I can usually just sneak into a corner, pop on my 35 millimeter, and I can get most of the hotel room in that. And if you're shooting in a photojournalistic style, then this lens is a really great lens. So there you have it. Those are my top three and my three nice to have lenses. I hope this video helps while you decide which lenses you want to purchase. In the notes below this video, I've actually included a link to the list of lenses that we've just talked about. So feel free to download it for your reference. I've also included a link to our Insiders Facebook group for beginner portraits and wedding photographers. If you're a photographer just starting out and want to join our group, it's friendly, it's non-judgmental, and we have some discussions in there, then just click the link below and ask to join our group. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week with a brand new video.